So they outlawed trans fats, but they replaced it with something worse. You guys remember the trans fats? No, I'm not talking about fat people or transsexuals. I know we have plenty of those nowadays. No, I'm talking about trans fatty acids, which became a huge issue 10 to 20 years ago, and then it went through legislation. So trans fats are made when liquid oils are turned into solid fats, such as shortening or margarine. And these are called partially hydrogenated oils, otherwise known as PHOs, because it's done through a hydrogenation process. Because of the health risks, the FDA banned trans fats in 2015. The ban went into effect in 2018. But here is the kicker. They permitted companies to have some foods which can legally contain trace amounts such as a half gram per serving, and they do not have to be disclosed on a nutritional label. So what do you think all the companies did? They just made each serving size like less than a half a teaspoon, so small, where the product would actually have a couple hundred, if not a couple thousand servings, and the person who was eating this crap didn't realize they're eating a couple hundred grams of trans fatty acids because it doesn't have to be disclosed on the nutritional label. So, but now we have these seed oils which are constantly being debated. What are seed oils? Well, they're essentially vegetable oils extracted from plants such as cottonseed, canola, safflower, soybean, and corn. But the process is the dangerous part. The oil is extracted through mechanical pressing or by using chemical solvents. Then they undergo refining process such as bleaching and deodorizing to improve the stability and suitability for cooking. In fact, certain seed oils have been historically used as industrial lubricants for engines and machinery. For example, rapeseed oil, which is a type of seed oil, was used as an engine oil lubricant for many decades, and that's what you're eating. So let's talk about the dangers. What are the dangers of the seed oils? Well, it's obvious. They come with many inflammatory risks. In an article in the Open Heart Journal 2018, the researchers made it clear that omega-6 vegetable oils are a primary driver for coronary heart disease. And they also concluded that numerous lines of evidence showed that the omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids promote oxidative stress, oxidized LDL, chronic low-grade inflammation, and atherosclerosis, and is likely a major dietary culprit for causing coronary heart disease, especially when consumed in the form of industrial seed oils, commonly referred to as vegetable oils. So, who is promoting this crap? Who is promoting the seed oils? Well, mainly, it's actually the professors from Harvard, including Guy Crosby, who actually has family ties to Merck. So, the problem is that Harvard receives more funding from pharmaceutical companies than any other medical institution. In fact, their own periodicals actually even admit and advertise that they enter into multi-million-dollar deals with pharmaceutical companies. Just recently, they openly admitted that they increasingly are leaning on funding from pharmaceutical companies in addition to the government funding. And why do you think that most pharmaceutical companies are funding them? It's because the medical curriculum of these dangerous institutions are primarily based on pharmacology, as I stated before. Because these medical institutions receive so much funding from these pharmaceutical companies, the medical curriculum for our future doctors are all primarily based on pharmacology, not nutrition. They spend less than 20 hours in their entire medical school careers on nutrition. This is another reason why we should not trust these medical institutions. This is another reason why we should not trust these pharmaceutical companies. And this is another reason why we should not trust these big corporations or many of the politicians who are receiving funding from pharmaceutical companies. We need to stop eating these seed oils. We should not be eating any trans fats. And we need to start eating more animal-based fats, which we've been eating for 2.5 million years. So folks, eat meat, train hard. Let's make America great and healthy again.